Hi, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started today with today's topic, I just wanted to do a trigger warning at the very start. I'm going to flash them on the screen somewhere so you guys can read them. The second thing I wanted to say is, even though these people probably have done some terrible things, please do not send them any hate whatsoever. This video isn't about that. And then third off, I'm going to not pass any judgment on these YouTubers, but it's going to be kind of hard to remain a little bit unbiased. Just so you know, I did watch almost all of these apology videos, the ones that I had. All of the links will be in the description box down below. Sorry, I do want to note, I have a script in front of me, so if I look at it, I'm sorry. Okay, so a quick, short little summary of my last video. This is actually part 2 of YouTubers' apologies. If you watch part 1, you don't have to, but essentially my goal with this series was to make a complete timeline of all of the major apology videos that have been on YouTube. I've watched almost all of them, with there being exceptions for incomplete ones, because obviously if people took them down and I can't find a re-uploaded version, I had to kind of just make do with what other YouTubers said, or just watch clips from what I could find. As I said before, I've basically spoiled this entire series. You can probably read the names on my list, but I'm just going to go through one by one each of the apologies and kind of the controversies behind them. Sometimes I'll talk about how well received they were. In my part 1 of this series, I went from basically 2009 with Shaytards, and I ended up doing to the end of 2018. So in this video, I'm going to be jumping into 2019. I'm going to just go year by year now. 2019, we start off with kind of a biggie. This was RiceGum's apology, and the video was called "This Dude Calls Me Out for Mystery Unboxing." I think that we kind of already know who RiceGum is. Essentially, he's just a hype beast. He does Twitch streaming now. He hasn't done a lot of YouTube videos, but with this controversy, RiceGum and a few other creators had taken a sponsorship from this online gambling site, and they were kind of picking creators that had very large child audiences. So essentially it was promoting gambling to children, kind of not unlike the T. Martin situation that happened the year prior. This video that RiceGum put out was almost 5 minutes in length, with 103,000 likes and 102,000 dislikes. In the video, he says at one point, "No one said anything. It wasn't a problem back then. Why did no one bring it up or even talk about these guys? This mystery box thing has been on the internet for 3 or 4 months, even from other creators. But as soon as I do it, it's a problem." So as his apology, he put a bunch of Amazon codes that flashed on the screen, and apparently they were all expired codes. I couldn't verify if that was true, but from what I heard, they had expired a couple months prior.
It's true, I'm an asshole. What was I thinking? I can't really do much because I already did it. The damage has been done. You guys already saw a money-hungry side of me, and it is what it is. And there's nothing I can really do but say sorry and give you these Amazon gift cards. So I'm sorry. It just wouldn't happen again.
I mean, I think we can kind of all agree that I don't think RiceGum has ever said a sincere apology before in his life, or if he has, he's never filmed it. He was doing all these codes on the screen, not really doing much for the audience. That was apology number 1 for 2019. Rawvana, or Rawvana. This came out in March 2019, and the title was "This Is What Is Happening." So Jaclyn Mendoza was a dietary / lifestyle YouTuber. She focused on dietary videos though. She was a famous raw vegan before she switched over to just plain veganism. Just so you know, I couldn't find her whole apology video, but I'll kind of just go over like her overall controversy. So Rawvana was caught having lunch with a friend. Her friend kind of panned the camera towards her, and we could kind of see that she was eating a fish. She was called out by like other vegan YouTubers, including like Freely the Banana Girl, who is kind of just this insane like vegan YouTuber that is very gung-ho about the lifestyle. I did watch Freely's video, but I did end up finding more of her apology on Mike the Vegan's video, and I believe that's where I like took the clip from. BuzzFeed ended up doing like a very big article on Rawvana. Like veganism isn't really about like a lot of health benefits, even though essentially being vegan is more of a lifestyle choice. So essentially you want to do clean eating, it's environmentally friendly, and also people who are very passionate about animals normally become vegans. Her switching over to eating meat and like not telling her audience is kind of seen as a very big betrayal. I will show you a clip from her apology video, but like I said, I got it from Mike the Vegan.
You probably feel deceived and lied to, and you're in your whole right to feel that. And for that, I ask for forgiveness. I'm human, I made a mistake, and I was not planning on hiding this from you. I was planning on telling you, but on my terms, on my time.
Rawvana ended up saying like she was planning on telling her audience. She didn't want it to be exposed, but she had just started incorporating meat into her diet like fish for I think a couple months beforehand is what she said. And like I said, the vegan YouTubers went crazy on this girl. Filip Miucin, April 19th, 2019, titled My Apology. So Filip Miucin is a video game reviewer and YouTuber. He was the host of Nintendo Voice Chat, and he was a Nintendo editor of IGN, or the Imagine Games Network. So I'll put this out there right now. I'm not a big gamer, so I don't know much about this guy, but I do think that this controversy is very notable in the world of like apology videos and gaming. Filip Miucin had essentially plagiarized word for word several videos and like game reviews, and the one to actually call him out was a channel called Boomstick Gaming. So I will link in the description box down below Boomstick Gaming's review, essentially call out of Filip, because the video is very striking. He had his video on like the right side of the screen, and he would play a clip from it, and it would only be about 10 to 15 seconds long, but then he switched to the left side of the screen. That would be Filip Miucin's video game review, and he would play 10 to 15 seconds, and the wording and the phrasing basically matched up perfectly. It was very clear that Filip had pulled quite a bit of his ideas from this Boomstick Gaming review channel. He had originally put out this video titled like, "This creator plagiarized from me and I didn't know what to do." I can't remember the title, but I'm sure I'll have it, like I said, linked in the box down below. This video is still up, and the title has been changed a little bit, saying like "issue solved." But when Boomstick Gaming came out with that video, there's a lot of kind of hate directed towards like both sides, both Filip and, from what I understand, Boomstick a little bit. Like the gaming world went nuts. Filip Miucin ended up putting out an apology video or a response video, and I wouldn't claim that first one as an apology video because essentially it was him denying that he had plagiarized from Boomstick Gaming. Basically said that it was like a coincidence, and then he said that he was insulted because I think the guy's name was Jason. He said, "Jason, an editor over at this gaming magazine, called me out on plagiarizing more stuff and it's not true." And he said, "I'm actually gonna call Jason out and say if he wants to try to find some of my other videos where he thinks I've plagiarized, he can go ahead and try." Well, that lit a fire under everyone's butt and basically turned all of these gaming YouTubers and people into like freaking detectives. So they ended up finding several of his very popular video game reviews being very ripped off and plagiarized from all these different channels. He ended up issuing this apology, but it came 8 months later, and I will show a clip of it now.
I'm not expecting to be forgiven and for everything to magically get better. I understand that that doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes forgiveness doesn't happen at all, and that's okay. So while I know that I can't say anything to change what I did, I hope that this can at least give these amazing creators the closure that they deserve.
In his video, it's very short. It's just over 2 minutes long. It wasn't very well received at 3.8 thousand likes and 5.6 thousand dislikes. And part of that reason is because this apology came out 8 months after this whole controversy happened. So him trying to save face, and it didn't really work. So what happened to Filip after this was that he was fired from like being a Nintendo game reviewer. He ended up issuing this apology to all of the people that he ripped off, or at least a good chunk of them. He even flashed like a title card on the screen saying like, I just wanted to apologize specifically to these creators and these videos because this is where I had stolen from. Essentially, comments in this video talked about how it was kind of a little bit too late to make an apology because, like I said, it was 8 months later after this controversy happened that he actually addressed it on his YouTube channel. And that brings me to my next apology, which is by the same creator. It's Filip Miucin, and it's April 21st, 2019, and it's a response to his video, My Apology. Essentially, it isn't really like an apology video, but it kind of explains his reasoning for why he issued the apology, why he decided to plagiarize. He said that he loved playing games and that he was confident in his video editing skills, but he wasn't really confident in his writing. And that's where he ended up kind of like falling short. So when he started making YouTube videos, he basically thought, well, I'm gaining such a large audience, and it ended up happening so quickly that he thought that he had to be more entertaining. And so that's why he ended up like kind of stealing thoughts and ideas from other people. So I will show a clip of his second apology now.
I felt pretty confident with my video editing skills and my abilities to create visually appealing content, but I wasn't always confident with my abilities as a writer. So I took from sources who I trusted and respected and I agreed with, and I tried to change them in a way that I would say it. But obviously, looking back, I can see that I still had a lot of growing up to do, and I had a lot to learn.
As with his first apology, this one is quite short, and I think that kind of benefited him. From what I saw online, he still does video game reviews, but they are nothing at the level in which he was well received before. I'm kind of surprised by some of the comments in his comment sections. He has quite a lot of positive comments. James Charles, this was issued May 10th, 2019, and it's just titled Tati. If you don't know who James Charles is, he's like this golden child of the makeup community. He's been like a rising star for the last few years. He's been blowing up. He does a lot of fun, artistic makeup videos. You can tell like he's a really motivated young guy who is really into creating his own name, brand, and like creating a whole business out of this YouTube gig. He essentially wants to be like a big business mogul. Personally, there was a time where I did watch a couple of his videos, but I'm not that great at makeup, so it's a little bit above my skill level. So, like I said, he's kind of a great artist. I do have to say personally, I am a little bit scared talking about James Charles simply because on one of the videos that I commented a negative thing about him, it was a Philip DeFranco video where I basically said because Philip DeFranco had mentioned how many mid-roll ads James Charles puts in his videos, and I think it's way too many or something like that. And the James Charles fandom like attacked me in the comments, so I'm a little bit hesitant to talk about him in any sort of negative light, but I mean, that's the nature of this video, so you don't like it, click off. One thing about this apology is it's his first YouTube apology, which is kind of shocking because if you know James Charles and like his history on the internet, he has done quite a few controversial things, but he never really did like an apology video for them. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like he was the first male CoverGirl spokesperson, and he ended up getting in trouble. He tweeted out something like, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to try to quote what he tweeted. I'm just going to flash it on the screen right here. So I don't get in trouble either. But he ended up getting dropped for this like tweet from CoverGirl. So James Charles also kind of received some backlash because he would go on to like a live stream of Shawn Mendes and comment like very flirtatiously. He also would do that with one of the Vlog Squad members. I think it was Jeff Wittick. I could be wrong, but he talked about how he had such a huge crush on him. There's this really great article that came out in like Vulture and like the whole history of James Charles's controversies. So I will actually link that down below too with this apology. The original video has been deleted, but this was a response to Tati's infamous calling out video where she was really hurt over the fact that James Charles had sponsored or at least took a sponsorship from Sugar Bear Hair, and his friend Tati was like kind of his mentor in like the makeup gig, and she had her own nutrient vitamin brand that James Charles supported the competitor of her brand. Because of this, she went after him and she put out this whole video called like Bye Sister. So this video was like his quick little response. With the benefit of hindsight in 2021, Tati has since like taken back a lot of the stuff that she said in her video, and she said that a lot of it was orchestrated by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. One thing that did come out in that video was the fact that James Charles was on like a tour and he was over in Australia, and she kind of mentioned how she was afraid that if she did this calling out video, she was concerned that maybe he might jump off the building. And they were like, well, it doesn't really matter. This needs to be put out anyway. In this apology video, James Charles didn't really refute a lot of the Bye Sister allegations or claims. He just kind of apologized to Tati, and you could tell he had just kind of woken up and seen what happened. It was a very quiet video, and I think he was still laying in bed. He hadn't put any makeup on, and I'll just read like a quick quote from that. A lot of time when I've had to address things in the past, I've acted out of impulse and I've gone off and tried to pull receipts or facts or screenshots and play the victim, and I'm not doing that today. I'm not. This is all I have to say. I'm sorry.
But most importantly, I owe two important people an apology. To Tati and James Westbrook, I'm sorry for everything that is going on and everything that I've put you through over the past few weeks.
Like I said before, not refuted, and that just kind of fueled the firestorm that would happen after this. James Charles did put out another video titled No More Lies, which he essentially, I didn't put in my timeline because it's not really an apology video. It's just him like defending himself and refuting basically all of Tati's claims about how he hit on the waiter at her birthday party, yes, but the waiter was kind of willing. Like I said, hindsight of 2021, James is kind of in the same situation again. So this is his first video apology. Jeffree Star, May 19th, 2019. Never doing this again. So hopefully we all know who Jeffree Star is by this point, but essentially he was MySpace creator and a makeup guru. He has his own business where he's kind of become like crazy rich, like he has his own plane and he has a gold couch. In this apology, it's almost 14 minutes in length. This video has way more likes than dislikes, which I thought was kind of interesting. Essentially, this was Jeffree Star's response to the video No More Lies. And James had posted the video in response to him being called a predator. Like I said before in this last segment, it was 41 minutes long and like it was very well received. It had like 2.6 million likes and like less than a million dislikes. In that video, he essentially calls out Jeffree Star, and this is like Jeffree Star's response. He addresses the tweets that he made about James Charles, and I'm going to show a clip of that now.
And thank God I'm in the headspace that I am today because I stopped those feelings, I let them all subside, and I understand that now that isn't okay. I am not going to fuel this fire bigger so everyone can get more entertainment, because behind the scenes, this isn't funny. This is our real lives, and I inserted myself into something publicly that I shouldn't have.
I guess I wouldn't say that this is a real Jeffree Star apology. It will kind of set a precedence for how Jeffree will kind of handle a lot of these apologies video situations. In the video, Jeffree talks about how he had a reason to believe that James is a predator based off of evidence. The main takeaway that most people had was that Jeffree Star is taking up dirt on a lot of YouTubers that live in LA and kind of holding them hostage for blackmail. Like I said, this is all allegations. Jeffree Star, please don't sue me because I have no money. Next one, Raw Alignment, June 6, 2019. Everything I wish I had said a long time ago. So Raw Alignment, she is a health YouTuber who transitioned from veganism to a meat-inclusive diet. So I think that her apology, though, is pretty notable because it is an hour and 13 seconds long. So it has 3,000 likes, little less than 3,000 dislikes. And the comments are kind of turned off on this. So Unnatural Vegan did a video on her that I thought was really interesting. She mentioned that she had a bunch of videos on her channel where she talked about and like showed what she ate while on her excessively restrictive diet. Health and vegan YouTubers went crazy on this girl. She does have timestamps in her video, but her apology doesn't come until 52 minutes and 26 seconds in. So I will show you a clip of her apology video now.
Raw, authentic truth, and love and self-growth and compassion and all of that. So I do want to say I'm sorry to anyone who has been like confused or waiting for this video, just wanting me to speak about it, wanting me to say sorry. And yeah,
like I said, this apology video was pretty well received, but in her most recent apology, and it's just titled Peace Out, period. It was published on March 19th, 2021, and her like to dislike ratio is almost 50-50. So, you know, when I was taking notes for this video, I copied some of the comments that she got, and I unfortunately didn't get any screenshots, but I will read the comments that I had copied. I'm so sorry. Normally, like, I take screenshots, but I didn't think to do it, and then she disabled the comments, so I will just read a couple quick ones. So Shannon on her Peace Out video said, "I'm not gonna lie, I've been a subscriber to Elise's since her channel started. The moves, the mold, the whole bit, and I've come to the conclusion this girl is full of shit. This weird manifesting spiritual journey, BS on YouTube, isn't helping people long term, and it takes away from those of us who are serious about the real journey. I absolutely believe that in creating a great life, but it's beyond just affirmations. It's about doing deep self-work, far beyond anything Elise can teach here. I've heard this girl speak her truth so many times. And then she has 2 roll her eyes emojis. The truth is, I think you aren't your true self in the least, and I hope for your sake you find her. Enjoy your break. And then another comment on her peace out video was Tara Stiles said, wait, so instead of taking accountability and apologizing for saying the N-word in your recent live stream, you remove all comments asking about you saying it and going off social media hoping people will forget? Even if you said it accidentally, you should still acknowledge the hurt that this mistake caused some members of your community and address this instead of blocking the questions and concerns people have expressed. So clearly there's a lot more going on with this girl right now. I had no idea about her live stream. I can't find any videos on it. Yeah, something's going on with this girl. Okay, Jaclyn Hill. This came out June 12th. 2019, and it was titled My Lipsticks. So Jaclyn Hill, if you don't know, is like a makeup YouTuber and entrepreneur. She launched her company Jaclyn Cosmetics on May 23rd, 2019, which brings us to her controversy. When people ordered her makeup, they were getting lipsticks with hard plastic pieces in them, with fuzzies on them, and some of them were also like melted or they would break after one use. Clearly, it wasn't fuzz, it was mold. In this apology video, you can see it's not really an apology video. It's like I said, it's more like stressing that there's nothing wrong with her lipsticks. So this video is just over 14 minutes long. It has 150,000 likes, 167,000 dislikes. So I will show you a clip.
Very hard, and I'm going to work very diligently to make sure that within the next couple of months, within the next year, you're going to look at my brand and be like, oh wow, this actually is good. Like, she actually corrected her error and she learned from her mistakes, because it's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm so sorry for anyone who received anything less than perfect. I take full responsibility. This is my brand with my name on it and my team that I've created, and I am so sorry that you've received something that is not exactly how I described it to you. So,
as I said before, this isn't really an apology video. It's just a bunch of excuses. My favorite video that came out during this big scandal was Biochemist, whose channel is named Kenna, that tested her products in an actual lab and sent away for the results. I will link Kenna's video down below as well. Etika, June 20th, 2019, and it's titled I'm Sorry. This is going to be one of the few videos where I won't show a single clip for, just because I don't believe that this was an apology video. He does say sorry for a lot of things. This YouTuber essentially ended up killing himself, and I believe that this video was just essentially his suicide note, so I'm not going to include anything except for his picture. The only reason I'm including it in my timeline is because I think that there'll be some people out there that say like I skipped over this, because he did apologize for certain things, but it seemed like this young man was, going through a very dark time, and he was maybe a little bit mentally ill, so I'm not going to show a clip from his video. I'm sorry. That brings us to Jaclyn Hill, July 23rd, 2019, and it's just titled Where I've Been. I would argue that this is Jaclyn's real apology. The first one was just kind of like her scrambling and doing damage control. In this video, she finally accepts responsibility, so I will play a clip of that now.
and I totally messed up. And the fact that I had to mess up and show my ass in front of millions of people who love me and trust me sucks. But still, that's not why I went black and deleted my accounts. It's not because I was embarrassed. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not at all the reasoning. But I just have to say I'm sorry. It's so important to me that you guys know how sorry I am and how embarrassed I am. Like, this has just been shocking. It's been shocking.
This video is almost 20 minutes long. It has a lot more likes compared to dislikes from her like first apology video. She addresses the lipstick controversy and the reason why she deleted all of her social media. She talks about how she wasn't really focused on quality control. She did start at one point tearing up on camera. She said that she was going to issue refunds to all of the people who bought the product, and she was very thankful for the people who just decided to give the refund money to charity. So she said that she had fired and hired a ton of people so that when she launched her makeup brand again, that this wouldn't happen. She mentioned how she was really ignorant on the whole process of starting a makeup company. And then she did something that I thought was really good, which is she apologized to the first person who reached out to her and tweeted her on Twitter, because essentially Jaclyn Hill had like attacked her. And she was just trying to bring her issues up to Jaclyn, and Jaclyn admitted in the video she wasn't here for it. So, Brooke Houts, September 19th, 2019, and it's just titled A Message for You. So, Brooke Houts isn't like a lot of these YouTubers. She wasn't very, very famous, I would argue, before this controversy, but she did like lifestyle videos, vlogs. What happened with this controversy was she had put out an unedited version of a video where she was trying to prank her dog. And what ended up being shown was the fact that she slapped and hit her dog. So in the video, we could see a lot of like animal abuse. And it did look like to me that she did end up like spitting on her dog, even though she denied that part of it. That video had been quickly deleted. So she had put out like a response video where she kind of apologized. It was like an hour-long response, and 45 minutes of that video was of her boyfriend talking about Christianity and essentially Jesus and religion. So she quickly deleted that apology and issued this response. So this was her official apology. I will show you a clip of it now.
And I also want to apologize to anyone who was offended. It has never been and will never be my intention to hurt or offend anyone, ever. I'm not going to sit here and try to justify my actions, but what I will say is I have never intentionally, willfully, or maliciously hurt an animal, and I never will.
The reason why I could even see as much of it as I could was because of the H3 highlights video. I will link down below, but essentially like they went through and talked about it. Because of that video, I could see that the official apology was 44 minutes and 32 seconds long. At the time of their podcast, I could see that it had 1.7 thousand likes and 33,000 dislikes. And I thought it was really funny, but Ethan Klein made an observation that the video was categorized as comedy. And then he said, yeah, comedy, because this video is a joke. I can honestly see why she deleted all of these videos, including this apology, because it wasn't well received. Trish Paytas, October 8th, 2019, and it's just titled Apology. I was completely wrong about Trish in the last video. Trish came out with a video this month. I'm filming this video on April 25th, 2021. Trish came out as non-binary and therefore uses they, them pronouns. So I will do the best that I can to go by that. This was Trish's apology to the LGBTQ plus community for coming out as transgender. It is almost 20 minutes long, and it has 27,000 likes and 65,000 dislikes. So Trish said that they had felt like a gay man but liked to dress and drag. Trish had mentioned that they had had a gender identity therapist for the past 6 months. Trish goes on to talk about how they had trolled in the past, but this was something that they had felt like it was different essentially for them. So I will show a clip from Trish's apology
right now. And I'm so sorry if I offended anyone, but Jesus, to say like, are you stupid? You're offensive. And I sent this person a DM back. I sent a lot of people DMs back. I'm like, how can you tell me who I am and what I am on the inside? Like, how can you tell me that? You haven't grown up. You haven't been with my struggles mentally.
So considering Trish's other apology videos, I did make a couple notes. This one is a lot less frantic. I've watched most of these apologies at double the speed, and normally it's impossible to do that with Trish's videos. This one I was able to speed up a little bit just because they had taken some time to like take some deep breaths, and essentially Trish didn't have a lot of like crying voice in this video. Like I said, it was a lot less frantic, and it seemed like Trish was very much defeated mindset. Even though Trish doesn't come off that way, it was quite sad. Trish mentioned that they were really like new to all of this, and that they were always like drawn to the gender community. We can see in like with hindsight in 2021, clearly Trish is still going through like some identity stuff, except now Trish is saying that they and that they're non-binary, which is totally fine, but back in 2019 was not well received. FaZe Jarvis, November 3rd, 2019. I've been banned from Fortnite. I'm sorry. So FaZe Jarvis, if you don't know, is a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, and a member of the FaZe clan. And he's a part of an esports like organization. So apparently he got caught cheating in Fortnite, and this is his apology. So it's almost 7 minutes in length. It has 842,000 likes and 257,000 dislikes. And I will show you just a quick clip from it.
You know, it's crazy that I can never play Fortnite again or even create content for you guys. You know, it's obvious that I made a massive mistake. And of course, I would never think about doing anything like this again. You know, when I was making those videos, I never thought about the consequence. I never thought about the consequences that could happen.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this video. He claimed that he had used some software to like help him, but he had never used it in a competitive setting, just on like streaming. Fortnite banned him for life, and this really upset him. He cried through most of this apology, and actually like after this a lot of memes were made about it, and that will take us to the end of 2019. So I do have another video coming out of all of the apologies that came out in 2020 essentially. So we've kind of reached the end before coronavirus. So if you watched through this entire video, I really appreciate it. I will be filming this video the same day that I filmed that one, but that one I'll take my time editing more. So anyway, please be on the lookout for my next video. Bye guys!